want me to sacrifice everything that I've done this match to go res these goofballs all the way over? Hell no. There's a tank between us and 6 guys down, and they want me to burst through the tank like I'm Superman and res everybody. What I said was I'm kind of like a part-time medic, right? I use a support class. It's the most overpowered class in the entire game. It's a support class. So you support your teammates by helping them cross with the smokes, which I use all the time. So like I said, I usually res people around me, of course, and I res my teammates anywhere they're on the map. But I'm not like TikTok Steve on TikTok going around resing 500 times a game. Run support. You know, I support everybody on the squad with the smokes, with the ammo, with the barricades, and it really is OP. So let me know in the comments if you guys agree. They definitely need to rebalance, I think, support, because I think it's just so overpowered. And please, there's no clip on the internet where I said I hate Battlefield 6. 80% of the time I'm having fun.
But here's the thing, right? We're not talking about the average casual here. We're not talking about the scat master. We're talking about the breed of players that have just migrated from Call of Duty. And as you saw in that previous clip from his homie, these guys are known to not play the objective. So when he's detailing how people are complaining at him that he needs to start reviving people, my initial impression is that there's probably been multiple times where he might need to go out of his way just a little bit and maybe risk his life, kind of.
They're not going to, man. That's just how these Call of Duty players are.
And then the big question that a lot of people are talking about is, do you guys feel like Battlefield 6 needs a Battle Royale? The multiplayer is great. I actually do enjoy it a lot. I think it's super fun. I just think with how much money they've put into this game, rumor was around $500 million. It was inevitable for them to do a Battle Royale. And why not? I think it's one of those things where, you know, you don't have to play if you don't want to. It's going to be free to play. I think a Battle Royale is great to have because it attracts new players without having to spend $100 on a game. So somebody who have never touched Battlefield in their entire life could play the Battle Royale for free and be like, dang, I really want to try the multiplayer and see what it's like, and kind of just integrate into it.
Why are all the content creators that are talking shit about Battlefield players calling everybody dads and shit? Like, it's not like they're the ones also playing Battlefield, and the majority of COD players are also coming over to play Battlefield now until Black Ops 7 releases. So how is it just dads and uncles? I just don't get it. I don't know, man. Like, me personally, I'm a Call of Duty player, but I'm not dumb. I'm not delusional where I understand that the way Battlefield should be played. So, like, am I a dad or uncle for saying that they shouldn't be going for kills? Even if they're assault, they should be playing objective, not just going for kills. I don't know. Am I lost here?
The same players who turned Call of Duty into a chaotic playground of ego and highlight reels are now doing the exact same thing to Battlefield. And this time, the Battlefield community is not staying quiet. Because when FaZe Swagg, Jay Smooth, and their crew decided to step into Battlefield 6, they didn't just bring their viewers. They brought the entire Call of Duty mindset with them. The fast kills, the no revive attitude, the obsession with stats over strategy. It all carried over. And for the first few weeks, it was funny. The clips were going viral, the fan bases were colliding, and the COD creators acted like they were conquering new territory. But what they didn't realize is that Battlefield players have been doing this teamwork-heavy, large-scale chaos for over a decade, and they weren't about to let a few TikTok soldiers rewrite their game. What started as a harmless crossover quickly turned into a community war. COD versus Battlefield, with streamers in the center of it all, accidentally exposing how little they understood the game they were trying to dominate. And it all spiraled from one simple thing: ego. But before we talk about how this COD infection spread across Battlefield 6, we have to talk about where it came from, and the guy at the center of it, FaZe Swagg.
Look, Jay Smooth, no disrespect to you, but like, nice to meet you, man. I'm the Scad Master. I'm here to keep it real, brother. You look old as dog. Not as old as this fucker over here. This is gaped thoughts.
Oh
but
my
certainly
God.
the Call of Duty CTE brain has you fucking tweaking in Battlefield 6, thinking that it's the Battlefield players' fault that you're not getting rezzed. Absolute
Look at this guy playing his
now,
role.
This guy has ties to FaZe Swagg, who is typically the highlight in these sorts of videos. And unfortunately, we have nonsense not only from his friend, but from him as well.
Now, if you've been anywhere near the FPS scene in the last 5 years, you know the name FaZe Swagg. He's one of the biggest creators to come out of the modern Call of Duty era. Flashy gameplay, slick editing, constant collabs, and a loyal fan base that eats up every stream and TikTok he drops. But here's the thing, most people outside of COD don't realize. FaZe Swagg isn't just a player, he's a blueprint. He represents the new generation of Call of Duty creators who built their fame not on strategy or teamwork, but on personality and performance. Every clip is about style, a triple kill, a trick shot, a rage moment. You don't need to win the match. You just need to look cool doing it. That's the COD mindset. Fast, selfish, and all about the clip. And again, in Call of Duty, that works. The game's built for it. Tight maps, short rounds, individual rewards. It's not about the team, it's about you and your KD ratio. But Battlefield is the opposite. It's a thinking man's war, a 100-player chaos machine where roles actually matter. You've got medics, engineers, recon, support, every one of them designed to play a specific part in a team. You can't win by running solo. You win by working together, reviving, repairing, capturing objectives, and moving as a unit. So, when guys like Swagg and his squad came over from COD, it wasn't just a switch in games, it was a clash in culture, because these dudes weren't trying to learn Battlefield. They were trying to turn Battlefield into COD 2.0. When Battlefield 6 was first teased, it was chaos in the gaming world. COD was struggling. Hackers were everywhere. The same old map rotations were boring people, and Warzone was starting to feel like a broken treadmill. Everyone was looking for something new, something fresh. So when EA dropped those massive trailers for Battlefield 6, huge maps, futuristic combat, incredible graphics, creators saw an opportunity. A lot of COD players said, "Yo, this could be the next big thing." And within days, Swagg and his circle jumped in. Their streams were pulling insane numbers. TikTok was flooded with COD players try Battlefield 6 for the first time. Clips. The hype was unreal. At first, the Battlefield community actually welcomed them. Cautiously, but still, it looked like a good thing. More eyes on the game meant more success for Battlefield. For years, COD had dominated the FPS spotlight, so seeing big names cross over felt like a win for everyone. But then, reality hit. Because these new players weren't adjusting to Battlefield's slower, team-based gameplay, they were treating it like another version of Warzone, sprinting everywhere, ignoring the objective, stealing vehicles just to crash them, and leaving teammates bleeding out while they tried to go for flashy plays. Veteran Battlefield players started noticing immediately. Reddit threads popped up with titles like "COD players are ruining the vibe," and TikToks mocking streamers for refusing to revive teammates started going viral. It wasn't hate at first, it was frustration. You could literally see two worlds colliding in real time. The veterans wanted strategy, teamwork, immersion. The newcomers wanted kills, clout, and quick content. And then came one clip, one single 45-second clip, that turned that quiet frustration into open war. The clip that started it all came from one of FaZe Swagg's closest friends, J Smooth. Now, J Smooth isn't a random face either. He's part of Swagg's tight-knit crew. And like Swagg, he's built a following by being loud, entertaining, and unfiltered. But sometimes unfiltered means unaware. In the clip, J Smooth tries to give Battlefield players advice on how to play the game. Except instead of offering real insight, he ends up exposing exactly why COD players were getting roasted. Sounds normal, right? Until you realize what he just said.
One point that I think that needs to have the Battle Royale is it needs to have balanced vehicles and not have the weapons super overpowered. Obviously, you know, Battlefield is known for its vehicles and different things like that. I definitely think there needs to be a balance. Like if somebody gets a tank in the Battle Royale and they just start mowing through the entire lobby, I don't know, it's just like one of those things where it's just like, eh. So like obtaining a tank needs to be kind of difficult, and certain vehicles having gunners on them, they can't be too powerful. Do you guys think that's a good thing, or do you guys think it's a bad thing? I've seen 50-50 on it as far as the comments. Some people think it's good. You know what I'm saying? People can't camp in the gas. Some people say that it should have maybe 1 or 2 ticks. I honestly don't know. I've never played a Battle Royale where the storm annihilated you immediately. So I personally have no clue. Let me know in the comment section below what you guys think, if that's going to be a good thing or a bad thing.
He literally starts by admitting he doesn't play the objective, then spends the rest of the clip yelling at Battlefield players for not playing the objective. It's like watching someone accuse others of being lazy while sitting on their couch. The hypocrisy was unreal. Battlefield fans tore into it, memes popped up instantly. COD player discovers teamwork. Breaking, J Smooth invents reviving. And even fake news graphics joking about him, bringing self-awareness to the front lines. And you could tell, this wasn't just about one streamer anymore. It became a symbol of everything Battlefield fans hated about the COD culture moving in. To them, J Smooth's rant wasn't just tone deaf, it was disrespectful. Because for years, Battlefield players had built a game community around cooperation. And here comes a COD streamer who's literally saying he never plays as a team, while demanding everyone else does. And just when the dust was starting to settle, FaZe Swagg himself decided to jump into the conversation. What he said next made things 10 times worse.
So here's another super viral clip of FaZe Swagg where he's talking about reviving teammates in Battlefield.
People on TikTok, they be telling me like, yo, you're not resing anybody. Bro, they're down across the map. I can't get to bro. You want me to sacrifice everything that I've done this match to go res these goofballs all the way over? Hell no. They're on the other side of the map. There's a tank between us, and they want me to burst through the tank on fucking Superman and res everybody. That ain't me. I'm not doing that.
Shut up, bitch!
That is literally your job if you are choosing to play as the medic. If there's a tank in front of you, your job is to either go around the tank, help other people destroy the tank so that you can get to your personal objective of being the medic and support player. That is what you're supposed to do, but I understand that it could be kind of inconvenient to do. And you saw how that previous clip had FaZe Swagg talking about how he doesn't want to go out of his way to revive his teammate. I want you guys to take a look at this clip and just tell me what your initial impressions are.
Oh, come on, get me, please. Please, teammate. Medic! Please! He went downstairs! Pops! Oh my god!
Oh my god, Karma is a bitch.
A few days after the J Smooth clip exploded, Swagg posted his own Battlefield gameplay. And in the middle of it, he starts ranting to chat about people complaining that he never revives teammates. And the moment that hit social media, it spread like wildfire. Now, to be fair, Swagg's not entirely wrong. If your teammate is way across the map behind a tank, yeah, maybe don't sprint straight into a 120-ton metal death machine just to get one revive. But here's the key difference. He was playing medic. That's literally your job. That's like a firefighter saying, yeah, but the fire was too hot. In Battlefield, medics are the backbone of a squad. Reviving teammates keeps the team alive, holds objectives, and changes the outcome of entire matches. When one of the biggest creators refuses to do that and laughs about it, it sends the message that teamwork doesn't matter. And that's when karma struck. Because not long after, a clip surfaced of Swagg getting downed mid-match. He's shouting for help. And the camera pans to a medic literally standing in the same room, looking straight at him, and then walking away. The timing was perfect. The irony? Chef's kiss. The internet lost it. Even Battlefield creators started roasting him, turning the clip into memes and compilations titled COD Players Experiencing Consequences. It was hilarious, but it also proved something deeper. The COD to Battlefield migration wasn't just about switching games. It was about two completely different gaming philosophies colliding. Swagg and his team wanted Battlefield to reward solo, kill-heavy gameplay. But Battlefield was built to reward team coordination and risk-taking for your squad. So when COD players refused to revive, refused to adapt, refused to slow down, they weren't just bad teammates. They were fighting the core identity of the game. And the internet absolutely roasted them for it. That's when the conversation shifted. This wasn't about a few clips anymore. It became a debate over what Battlefield should be, and whether COD creators were trying to reshape the entire game in their own image. But the drama didn't stop there, because after getting clowned for the revive clip, Swagg decided to say something that lit the community on fire all over again. Once those clips hit social media, it was open season. You couldn't scroll through gaming TikTok or Reddit without seeing FaZe Swagg or J Smooth getting roasted. Battlefield players had way too much fun with it. One meme showed Swagg yelling, "Medic! Medic!" while the medic just emoted next to him. Another edit spliced J Smooth's voice saying, "I don't play the objective," over footage of him getting blown up seconds later. It became a community-wide inside joke, COD players being allergic to teamwork. Even Battlefield creators who usually avoid drama started chiming in, half joking, half serious. We asked for crossplay, not cross-contamination. That one line summed it up perfectly. Because what was funny at first started turning into frustration. Battlefield players felt like their space was being invaded, not by casual players, but by influencers who were rewriting the community's reputation in real time. And you could tell, these weren't game critiques. They were demands to make Battlefield more like Call of Duty. The meme wave was entertaining, sure, but it was also a warning shot. Because the Battlefield community wasn't just laughing, it was drawing a line. Play our game, don't try to change it. And then, right when the noise started to settle down, Swagg said something that made the community lose its mind all over again. In a live stream, casually mid-match, Swagg drops this take. Battlefield definitely needs a Battle Royale. People think it doesn't. Trust me, it does. And just like that, the floodgates opened again. To COD players, that sounded normal. Of course, a modern shooter should have a BR mode. That's their comfort zone. But to Battlefield fans, that was blasphemy. Battlefield's identity was built on massive tactical warfare, squad play, vehicles, dynamic maps. It's not about surviving as the last player standing. It's about working together to dominate the field. Adding a Battle Royale, to them, felt like selling out. It was as if someone walked into a chess club and said, "You know what this needs? Uno cards?" The reaction was instant, and that last one hit deep, because that's exactly what this was about. When Swagg said Battlefield needs BR, what he really meant was his content needs it. The modes that make Battlefield unique don't produce fast viral clips. They take patience, communication, and moments that unfold over time, none of which fits into a 15-second highlight. And that's when people realized this wasn't just a difference in playstyle, it was a difference in purpose. COD creators weren't joining Battlefield to learn it. They were joining to reshape it into something easier to monetize. That realization was like pulling back the curtain, and people didn't like what they saw. By now, the lines were clear. COD culture versus Battlefield culture. Individual glory versus collective chaos. Clip farming versus actual gameplay. It wasn't even about Swagg or J Smooth anymore. It was about what they represented. The COD side was loud, confident, always chasing numbers. The Battlefield side was slower, strategic, and proud of it. And when those two worlds collided, it felt less like collaboration, and more like a corporate takeover. Longtime Battlefield players started speaking up in comment sections, explaining why this bothered them so much. That's the core of it. Nobody cared that Swagg wanted to have fun. It was the arrogance of assuming the game was broken just because it didn't revolve around him. And what's wild is, this isn't new. We've seen it before. Every time a big franchise gets attention from another fanbase, the same thing happens. Influencers move in, numbers spike, and suddenly the community starts shifting to fit their content instead of the other way around. Battlefield was just the latest casualty in that cycle, because when you think about it, the fight wasn't really about revives or BR modes, it was about identity. Battlefield's entire DNA is built on teamwork, patience, and scale, and COD's entire success is built on speed, ego, and attention. It's two completely different languages, and when one tries to speak over the other, chaos is guaranteed. When you look back at this whole saga, the hypocrisy, the memes, the cultural clash, it's actually kind of poetic. You've got COD creators known for solo glory trying to dominate a game built around collective effort, and getting humbled by it in real time. You've got clips that were meant to flex turning into punchlines about teamwork. And you've got two entire communities accidentally proving the same point. Gaming has changed. For years, games were about playing with people. Now, they're about performing for people. And that shift is why moments like this hit so hard, because they remind us how rare real cooperation has become. FaZe Swagg didn't ruin Battlefield 6. J Smooth didn't destroy the community. But together, they showed exactly what happens when influencer culture tries to invade a game that still values teamwork over fame. Battlefield fans weren't mad because new players showed up. They were mad because those players didn't respect what made the game different. So maybe Battlefield doesn't need a Battle Royale. Maybe what it really needs is players who still understand the point of a team. Because at the end of the day, your KD doesn't matter. Your TikTok views don't matter. The only thing that matters in Battlefield is whether you hit that revive button when your teammate's down 2 feet away. And if that sentence offends you, you might just be part of the problem. Anyway, if you made it this far, salute. You're one of the few who still plays the objective. Drop a like if you enjoyed, hit subscribe if you're new, and let me know down below. Do you think COD culture is ruining gaming, or is this just another funny crossover moment? Because if this is what happens every time the two worlds collide, the real Battlefield isn't even on the screen anymore. It's in the comment section.